Today we're going to be going over the nose grind, the frontside nose grind. And honestly, the frontside nose grind is one of my favorite tricks. We're really just going to be talking about how to get into it, how to hold the grind, how to get out of it. There's a few different ways you can pop out of this trick, and we'll definitely discuss that. So hopefully my little tricks and tips help you guys on your nose grinds. But yeah, let's just get into it.
Okay, so first things first, we're going to find an unwaxed part of the ledge. The reason why is because we're going to be stalling this trick at first and we don't want to slip out. Because right now, as you can see, we're just trying to get comfortable getting into our nose grind stall. So even if you need to do like a frontside 50-50 and just lean heavy on your front foot to get the feeling, that's really all we're doing right now is getting confident. Don't worry really about how you lock in right now, just ollie and lean on that front nose and get that nose grind feeling. So ultimately we want to lock in like this where my wheel is completely to the side right here. So it really looks like we're doing a nose manual on the ledge. So this is essentially what we want to get into, but it's nice to practice before you actually go for the trick. Now you can approach this with a little bit of speed. So now as you can see, I'm alling into the nose grind stall and kind of getting thrown, but it kind of gives me the idea of now what we're expecting when we get into it on a metal ledge. The next thing I want to talk about now is holding the grind. And by doing this, we're going to just use this line in the ground and kind of practice a nose manual, sort of say. So I'm just kind of lifting into the nose manual, getting a feeling of how heavy I need to really lean on the nose. Feel free to ollie into it too. Kind of gives you a better feeling of how much weight you really need to transfer onto your nose. The next thing I do want to point out is my foot placement when I am rolling up to the frontside nose grind. So we're pretty much in the ollie position, but you want to keep that front foot kind of high up so it is easier to get into that nose manual nose grind motion. So now we're going to talk about how to get out of this nose grind, right? So there's a few ways you can practice this. You can get into like a 50-50 and practice a nollie out. You can also practice with a nose manual on top of the ledge and go off. Or you can just focus on just doing a little nose grind tap. So this is rolling off the nose, kind of like a nollie motion. We're not actually popping it, but we are kind of giving that motion. Or you can practice a nose manual off, which helps. The other way is doing a 50-50 and a nollie out. So when you pretty much combine all of these motions, you pretty much get the nose grind pop out. Speaking of pop outs, there are two other ways if you want to get out in the middle of the ledge. You can kind of do a nollie out right there using the leverage off of your nose, or you can push your nose completely down, kind of like you're doing a crook pop over or over crook, and using the leverage to get out that way. I just want to point these two ways out, and the best way to practice this is just stalling it. So we're going to stand up in a 50-50 first and just do a nollie out in the middle of the ledge, see what that feels like. You can kind of now mimic a nose grind or a nose manual kind of stall and practice popping out. It's definitely pretty challenging, so I actually feel like you guys should try this out. This is the other way, is kind of like the crook popover way, I kind of like to call it, where you use the pressure all the way on your nose, you're fully kind of slammed down, but you can also gain leverage that way too to pop out. And this is kind of what it looks like. The other way I do want to mention, if you are having problems getting the nose grind off the ledge, is try a nose grind 180. This is another way I learned how to get out of my nose grinds, was just doing that kind of nollie 180 motion out.
So now we pretty much reached the end of the video. We talked about how to get into the nose grind. We talked about holding the nose grind. We talked about getting out of the nose grind. You got some options. You could pop out. You could 180. You got some things you can play with. Another little takeaway from this trick tip is also like, attempt this with different speeds, find different height ledges, and just use some of these baby steps to help you get confident getting that nose grind. Comment nose grind if you made it to the end of the video. Let me know what trick tips you guys want next, and I'll catch you later.